Iconic shockers are merging together.
I can see.
Oh.
Main Street.
Who's the guy who runs Iconic?
Jeff Jackson on Facebook. Is Jeff Blackburn one of the Jackson?
Is he the, he's probably the one that I
He
would
wears,
recognize.
you probably wouldn't recognize him because he
No.
usually wears like hoodies and masks in the gym where he looks like a ninja.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe it's not there.
He doesn't always, but. a
There's
lot of
like the
times-
really nice guy that has been.
Lindsay,
That
Lindsay
has
will
more
not
coat.
text me last night.
Maybe that's who they know. It's not
Yeah.
him.
Nothing in consent agenda.
Well,
It's not really,
That'll be interesting then.
I don't, I mean, we're moving on from it. We're not gonna do it anymore. I don't want anything. Starting our own.
Sounds like.
Yeah, just like. a separate
Yeah, I got a
thing.
good crew of some kids that
Title
have
III might be coming through, maybe.
been around with NYD and then.
We're going into 6.
Did you hear that? I
we're
thought
going
for
to
sure.
7A.
It's like.
Oh, he's older than.
Check it every day.
Six.
Oh, I
I was
been
thinking-
checking every Monday.
Yeah,
right,
Graham
okay.
like played with us. for
That's
the
right,
league and stuff
okay.
like that, like,
You know, well, we can talk about it.
so get this.
I call to order the meeting of the regular meeting of the Board of Education of School District Number 40 at 6 p.m. on July 28, 2025 at the Moline Education Center at 1900 52nd Avenue in Moline, Illinois. Can I have a roll call, please?
Audrey Adamson. Chet DeSmet,
Here.
Ramona Dixon,
Here.
Jason Farrell.
Here.
Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus,
Here,
Laura Severson,
Here.
Abigail Greenlee.
Okay, no board members participating remotely, so the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number 3 here, the Moline Police Department and Moline Coal Valley School District Number 40 Safety Partnership Opportunity Presentation. Dr. Savage, Chief Galt.
I'll just do a brief introduction and then turn it over to Chief. Some time ago, Chief approached me about an opportunity to potentially add an additional partnership with the district and the police department to look at a potential drone, first responder drone that the district could potentially house for the police department. I know that this has been a successful program utilized in different locations across the country. And this is something that the city of Moline has been investigating. And the chief was looking at potential locations to house the drones in various locations across the city. And at one point was looking at the possibility of housing some drones on various rooftops, and potentially schools would have been a good possibility, and wanted to know if the Board of Education would be interested in looking into that. So after a study and looking into some of that, it came to be that Moline High School would prove to be a viable location. And after some investigation and after running through some MOUs and running through technology and legal, we are now at the point to have the Board of Education take a look at this more formally, and wanted to ask Chief Galt to be here to be able to answer some specific questions in terms of how a first responder drone might work, and how it has been proven successful in other communities, and what that might mean for our school district. So this time, turn it over to Chief.
All right, well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be in front of you again. Well, you all know me at least by now. I was here not too long ago, so thanks for having me back. But Dr. Savage gave you a good introduction to that, and I'm just here to tell you that the Moline High School has a beautiful roof. I don't just go around to all the businesses and tell them that they have a beautiful roof, so you are unique. But I may be in jest, but I tell you that the Moline High School has a position in the city, being a government entity, and having an opportunity for us to partner to expand an opportunity to house a Skydio X10 drone dock, if this video will come up, maybe. So a few months ago, the Moline City Council heard a presentation for me to propose how to expand our drone program to autonomous beyond visual line of sight drone program. They approved that project, and we moved forward with purchasing or entering into a contract with a company called Skydio. Skydio is now a subsidiary. It's been bought by Axon, which is our body camera company. And Skydio is primarily focused on law enforcement drones for first responders. So back in December of last year, I was traveling the country for some International Association Chiefs of Police business, and I met the chief of Chula Vista, California. Roxana Kennedy pioneered the Drone for First Responder program in the United States. It actually started in Mexico, was the first deployment of drone as first responder, and she brought it to Chula Vista. Now, if you can close your eyes and imagine what Southern California is like, you can understand that they don't have any problem sticking cops on tops of roofs in Southern California to fly the drones. So their drone program largely was still operated by human beings. But over the years, companies and technology have evolved and are now able to deploy those with technology from docks. So we purchased 2 docks from Skydio, and it doesn't look like my video is going to play, but after this, you certainly could just Google Skydio drone dock, and it would show you. But this is the static picture of it. The drone dock itself weighs about 229 pounds. You can see the dimensions up there, 31 by 37 by 55. This is the item that I'm asking for approval from the Board of Education to place on top of Moline High School. It's pretty simple. The top of it opens through technology, right? So it's commands from software. A drone is housed inside of it. It's temperature controlled 24/7, 365 to make it through our tough winters, our hot summers, and our rain and snow. Keeps it heated and cooled in there so that the drone itself sets on top of a platform inside of there. It opens within 20 seconds, and that drone is airborne in 20 seconds after the command is given. And then it can fly 3 miles from that location. So the reason that we want to have one on the high school is because of the city of Moline. So as you can see on this radius for 3 miles, that center point is on the Moline High School property there. And so you can see the radius that the drone will be able to fly. The drones can only stay airborne for about 45 minutes and they have to return home. Does anybody have a Roomba? Right, so same concept of a Roomba. It will leave and then it knows it has to go back home. It will fly back home. There'll be a law enforcement officer that is either at a desktop, at a mobile computer in their squads or on their phones to be able to control it and do some other things we have to do for the legality of that. But it can fly what's called beyond visual line of sight. Right now, our drone operators under the FAA license that we have to be within visual line of sight. So anybody that has a hobby of a drone operator to get FAA Part 107 certified, you have to keep the drone in your line of sight. We've already gotten our certificate of authenticity through the FAA where we're able to fly beyond visual line of sight. So our drone can leave that dock and fly, and we can control the whole thing through a computer. There's several safeguards in it, but if it has an obstacle avoidance in it, it will fly around stuff. It will know if it's in trouble. It will return home. Certainly there is some vulnerability, I guess any technology can fail, but it has a lot of safeguards to it that it will return home back to its dock. So the position of the Moline High School being on the bluff, as you guys all know, being great Moliners, you know that Avenue of the Cities is high and River Drive and then the Rock River are both low. And so that presents us some problems for flying from the police department, which our other location of the dock will be. And so you can see here the 3 mile radius. And even though the limits are 3 miles, as you know, the longer it has to fly, the more battery life it's using, right? So if it has to fly to the edge of 3 miles, right, it's used up some battery life to get there, and wind speed or weather conditions can drain it a little bit more. And so then by the time it gets to that edge, right? It may only have 40 minutes instead of 45 minutes in its battery or less. And so we want to have two positioned around the city. When I was out in Southern California, they're using hospitals and schools and other government buildings to deploy many of them. Some of the cities are bigger, and they'll deploy them in what they call hives, and they'll deploy them all throughout the area, partly because hospitals have generators, they have technology, they have power, they have internet, all that different stuff. And so we looked at a couple different options, the hospital down by Target. The problem is this building, problem is the airport gives us some FAA ceiling height issues. We are going to be able to get some of those raised for us in certain areas, but the paths of the actual airplanes, if you understand that, if you look at the airport, the way the runways, we'll never get certain areas of the paths of the runways. So by deploying one at the police department and then one at the high school, we get this coverage. And so you can see the blue is the police and the maroon would be the high school. And so we get really complete coverage of the residential and commercial areas of the city of Moline by having the two. And then we also get, what's this called, a Venn diagram for who's the math professor here? You get this little Venn diagram. We get expanded coverage in the heart of Moline for almost all of Moline with two drone coverage. So we could almost have roughly an hour and a half drone coverage in the city of Moline. So a lot of advantages to having that. The other thing is this final edge that this final edge down here where you can see that expands past our limitation from the police department, gives us that whole Route 6, I-74 area, the South Park Mall, all of Walmart, all the way over to Green Valley Park that we cannot reach at all if we just deployed. Originally, we thought, well, we'll find out the second dock later. We might have to put two of them at the police department. We would never be able to get South Park Mall all the way over to Menards from the police department. We have to have a secondary location. We looked at the library. The library does not have a generator. It's not open 24/7 that we could put somebody in there. There's a lot of issues with the location of the library. So we looked at we did a lot of testing. We had Skydio out here. We did some testing from the school to make sure that we would be able to go from there, and they approved that. So the ask from you just is if we could have about 16 square feet of space on the hot top of Moline High School. We would put that dock on the high school and not bother you anymore. We just need access, put it on there, access to maintain it. We will pay for the drone. We already paid for the drone dock and the drone inside of it. We'll pay for that. We'll pay for the installation. We'll pay for we will have to run some conduit. We need power and we need internet access. We already have a great partnership with you guys through internet access. Somehow Craig makes it happen for us where our school cameras that are at every crosswalk outside of the schools, that video shoots back to a little panel on the schools, drops into the internet. We share Geneseo internet connection. Basically, you're just giving us a path into that fiber, and it comes right back to the police department. It doesn't go into your infrastructure, your internet, anything like you're not maintaining anything, just giving us kind of a port into the fiber that's below the school. We're asking for the same thing. If you could just give us a little bit of power, it's very light, right? Just like you want to plug something in to keep it powered. And then we just need internet capability, another port to go in and then run it back. Your teachers, administrators will have no role in this. They will not be. I know there was a couple, the news picked it up when I presented it to the city council last week. Teachers will not have any role in this. Administrators will not have any role in this. Won't have any access to it. Just asking for a little roof space to put that thing on top of there. The advantage to you is if, for God forbid, we did have an incident at the school, it'd be up in 20 seconds. And we could fly the perimeter of the school in 20 seconds. Now, the other thing is you might be asking, well, when are you going to deploy this? I didn't bring all those issues here today, but if you want to look at my drone presentation to the school, we did about an hour, or to the city council, we did about an hour of that explanation. But the state of Illinois has strict guidelines on when we can deploy a public safety drone. I'll tell you the number one thing we cannot do is any type of proactive surveillance. So we can't do traffic control. We can't see if the kids are coming in and out of the school properly. We can't, even if you asked us, gave us permission, the law does not allow that. It has to be an emergency call that goes into a 911 center that allows us to deploy law enforcement resources to an emergency. There's a few other areas that we could use it, natural disaster, if we had a search warrant, if there was some imminent threat, like we've used it on fires and things like that before. But we can't use it for just general patrol. We can't use it for general surveillance. That is prohibited by state law. So open it up to any questions you might have. We did run an MOU through both of our legal departments so that we just outline the responsibilities, the delineation costs, that really what I just presented to you today and some kind of legalese, so that everybody was transparent on what we were asking, and that when we're done with it, we'll repair your roof back to its original condition. We have a 5-year contract with Skydio, and so we assume the technology after 5 years will be different, and that we'll revisit it at that time.
Any questions?
Yeah, for starters, I think this is really, really cool. And I would be for sure supportive of, bringing what the Moline Police Department is doing, and what we are already doing at Moline Public Schools, bring it in further into the 21st century and help keep everyone safe. That said, just a couple of questions. Are there any other communities in our region using a similar program?
No. Well, as you know, the Moline Police Department's pretty on the cutting edge of technology. We're always pursuing a lot of this stuff nationwide. A lot of them. I don't know. I guess I don't know where all of them are deployed. I don't know if there's any other ones in partnerships with schools. But like I said, many of them are not on the police department property. They're on other types of government entity buildings or hospitals, things like that. But no one in this area is using drone as a first responder. Almost every department has a drone program with manual pilots and with a game controller in their hands. I think all the major metro agencies, and we have had drones for several years. We have both outdoor drones that are large. They're probably about the size of this table. They're huge. And then we have indoor drones, which is the size of an RC car. They're completely encased. They can fly indoors. And a lot of departments have those, particularly in this area, but no one has rooftop drone docks. Aurora, when we entered into a contract, we went up to Aurora, where was Skydio deployed them. I don't know if Aurora went through with it, but that was the closest 2-mile radius that we could find that had that. There are other companies that have them. St. Louis has a company called Palladian. We looked at them as well, but the kind of the safety features that Skydio has, it has red and blue lights on the drone so that the public knows that it's a public safety drone. We can turn them off for covert, if we need to, but then people see, hey, it's a police drone, things like that.
Will you be able to help complement the other communities where?
Yeah, so good
Like
question.
I think of UTHS, for example, like if there's an emergency situation.
I don't think it'll fly all the way over to UT.
Gosh, it's gotta be close.
Let me go back to.
But I see it, it goes into Bettendorf as well.
You know what? Well, yours will. So if you see the Hy-Vee grocery store with the E, you can see that gets all the way over to the intersection, right? It'd be right at the far edge there. So you see that intersection with the splits off of the E. The E looks like to me is right over UT High School. So it'll be really close. And then
My wife teaches in a school that's right in that same bubble as well, so it
Yeah.
kind of hits.
and then you
home
can see the
virtually.
blue goes over probably to Rock Island High School as well. It'd probably be pretty close. So.
So Moline Police Department will help complement the other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Police departments with this technology.
Yeah.
That's great.
And we have a mutual aid agreement, not to bore you with the legalities that run in the police department, but we have a mutual aid agreement with police departments from Clinton all the way down to Burlington that we share resources with. Obviously this won't fly all the way down there, but it would fall under those same parameters. So if they call the only thing that requires is that they call us. We can't self-deploy it to those situations, but they called, so they needed it and it fit within the law, we could send that. Also, I probably should point out to you that under the law, we're required to report drone deployments to the state's attorney's office, and we have software that every time the drone is used and a police officer completes a report about the drone, it automatically sends that to the state's attorney's office and via email.
Thank you, Chief.
Just a quick question. Again, thank you for doing the legwork. The MOU looks great. Running it through our legals takes out a lot of legwork. My question to you and Dr. Savage is, like, what kind of proactive education do we have for like students and staff and individuals that will find out, like you said, through media outlets, you know, that there's this big thing at the high school that will not impact their day-to-day, because
Right.
you know how people start creating their own stories if they don't know the logistics behind the legals and the FAA and things that you guys have going on.
Yeah, so the media reached out to me. So the legal or the logistical hoops of getting an MOU is really tough. So you guys only had kind of one summer meeting here. And so stuff has to go through a city council twice. So I put it on the committee of the whole agenda last week, came here today, and it will go on the city council agenda next week. So it's kind of got a 3-week approval process and 3 public presentations, first of all. Second of all, I turned down the media inquiries last week, and I asked them if I could get through August 5th. If the entity, I said, I want the entities to be able to evaluate this and approve or deny it on their own before I start going on the news and doing any type of media relations. I'm sure Dr. Savage feels the same way. I feel more comfortable. Let's just say hypothetically you approve it. It goes back to the city council. They already approved it in a committee of whole. I would assume that they would approve it as city council. Plus they would know that you had approved it at that time. After August 5th is done, I'd be more apt to do media interviews on August 6th or thereafter and go over all of that. I don't think from a student or a pupil learning perspective, they would even ever know about it unless maybe kids were out at recess, recess in high school, physical education, and, they saw it leave. But if you've seen a drone operate, they're fairly quiet. They're gone in an instant. And so outside of maybe a crash on the avenue and we can do this for traffic crash reconstruction and different things like that. If it just went up and went over, maybe they would notice it there. But, I guess the other thing is it might be an opportunity for students to become interested in law enforcement, technology. The future of technology is doubling at a faster rate than anybody ever would have thought of. In the last 8 years, it's made exponential progress. And so these are going to become jobs for future students. They're going to be, technology is probably being used. You're probably fighting ChatGPT in school and things like that. Maybe it's an opportunity to partner on technology with students.
I too turned down a media request after the first reading at the city. I typically would never speak to the media before the Board of Education has an opportunity to discuss an item such as an MOU that's up for approval. I wouldn't operate on any sort of assumption before you all have an opportunity to discuss it first. So I think kind of a similar situation. Once it gets approved all the way through, my intent was to inform the administrators and potentially do a joint press release, similar like we did with the changes to the homecoming parade. I think it shows a strong partnership. I think it shows a strong agreement and help clarify who is responsible for what. And my intent was just to give a talking point sheet to the principals that they could clarify with their staff. Certainly open to additional action steps, but those were the pieces that I had planned to do.
And we can, and just kind of continuing off that, once it's operational, we can deploy that from anywhere there's internet. So theoretically, we would be able to have maybe a demonstration or a classroom, whether it's I don't know what classes you have going on right now, but some sort of tech or some sort of computers or anything like that. We could demonstrate it in this room. We could launch it from anywhere that was a computer screen and demonstrate that and really, get people interested in avionics or unmanned aerial vehicles, technology, policing. You have the partnership with the Area Career Center and Criminal Justice Program that Moline students go to. So I think there's a lot of opportunities where we could connect it to education.
Thank you for that. And Dr. Savage, if we as board members could get a copy of those talking points that you're giving your administrators, that would be great.
Sure,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Just out of more curiosity, also, like, do you already have your staff members that are trained, ready to go once this is all approved to deploy, and especially if it's available 24/7, that you have individuals that are ready to utilize this at any time?
Yeah, so interesting that if you are under current law, the prior to our new program, you have to be Part 107 certified through the FAA. It's a pretty lengthy process. We have 11 people that are already certified to operate our 4 drones that we have now. Under this new program, under Beyond Visual Line of Sight, we get an agency certificate, and then we can train our staff members in-house. So in theory, I don't know, we haven't delineated the entire program yet on who's going to be trained. I'm going to start with the command staff. So it's a supervisor that is in charge of it, see how it goes. And we have supervisors at the Moline Police Department on duty 24/7. We also have reached out to our dispatch center that controls the 911 calls to possibly train dispatchers as well. Ultimately, it will fly on its own once you enter in a GPS coordinate, but a human has to be at the screen. And then the camera flies horizontally and does not record until it arrives to the location. So once it arrives to the location, it will point down, and then a human has to turn recording on. So from a perspective of student privacy, when that drone is launched, unless the incident was at the school, it's not recording anything on your property. And so then once the drone flies to that location and the camera points down, it gets to the GPS coordinate, the human being actually has to physically click a toggle switch on the screen to institute the recording. Also, just get in the weeds a little bit here, because it's affiliated with Axon, as it's flying on the screen, it's augmented reality, meaning that it has Google Maps, it has different layers that lay on top of what you see on the screen here. And so even though it's flying horizontally, it's going to display maps. And so you're going to be able to basically see satellite image of where it's going. And then blue lights are going to beam up like Star Trek from wherever there is a police car that has an Axon device in it, or a body camera that's on the uniform of a police officer. So then the drone will know where all the law enforcement resources are in that area. And then when the camera turns on, it will be able to see thermal or real life. It'll be able to see what's going on. You'll be able to see like police officers, and they'll glow blue with a little blue beacon. And so the operator will be like be able to, because I'll tell you what, if you've never tried to navigate from the air, it's much different than driving or walking on the ground. Like you could run out of here and you'd know exactly, I'm running down 52nd Avenue. But if you're aerial to this, you're like, not sure where we're at, somewhere by South Park Mall, right? It's much different. So you'll be able to say, oh, that person's on the left, and then it'll have augmented maps on the top of the screen that the person's seeing, right? Be able to like, okay, because you're looking down, right? And it'll be able to see street lines on that map, on that screen. So.
Awesome. Thank you. That's really, yeah. Impressive.
Well, anybody else? Thank you, Chief.
All right.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to number 4, approval of minutes. I have a motion to approve the minutes of the open session of the regular Board of Education meeting of June 23rd, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have any public comment? No. Moving on to the consent agenda. Recommended motion, the Board of Education approve the actions contained in the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Number 7, approval of memorandum of understanding between the city of Moline and the Moline Full Valley School District number 40 for the school-city partnership agreement on public safety drone infrastructure.
So moved.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 8, approval of memorandum of understanding with Project Now Head Start. Recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between Project Now Head Start and the Moline Full Valley School District number 40 for the 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsay Hines. Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 9, approval of Moline Full Valley School District strategic PACE goals and new set of community commitments. The recommended motion, the Board of Education approve the Moline Full Valley School District's PACE goals and new set of community commitments.
Second.
Any discussion? Dr. Savage, any clarification?
All right, I just want to make sure, everybody should have a copy of these, and I did send these to you, a number of days ago so that you would have an opportunity to look at these. These are in draft form, so we have a little bit of time to make any edits or to collect any, last minute feedback that you have. We have, more goals than we have had before, so we continue to be very ambitious. To continue to push for improvement in our district and to continue to take on more and more so that we can meet our goals. We have a lot of multi-year goals this time around that you will see, especially 3-year goals. There are a number of 2028 goals that we are very excited about. And a lot of these came directly from the brainstorming session that the Board of Education had back in May. And I hope that you recognize a lot of that language. We worked on these for several months, and we really spend a lot of time, hours and hours on every single word. A lot of these goals come from the data that we have available to us. We're still waiting for our report card data, our IAR data to come back. The data comes from the Board of Education brainstorming session. We look at our 5 essentials data, we look at our map data, and we put it all together. The five essentials data that comes from our staff, that comes from our students, that comes from our parents, it all gets put together. I also in this draft form wanted to add an additional layer, taking the feedback from the Board of Education this past spring, and wanted to really clarify sort of the type of goal that each one is, from a quantitative goal to a qualitative goal to which one is actually a work product. So you'll see that additional layer to each one as well. So apart from reading every single one aloud to you, I just wanted to open it up for any comments or any questions that you might have for any additional clarification. You also have an acronym sheet for the first people goal there at your tables. So any questions on our draft PACE goals? Ideally, I would like to have these finalized by hopefully next week so that we can get our new posters ordered and get ready to roll these out to our staff and administrators. Our all administrator welcome back session is August 5th, and that's really the timeline that we have to begin launching these for the new school year. But I like to have this opportunity for a final review from the Board of Education. So I'd like to open that up for any feedback or questions that you might have.
Dr. Savage, maybe one question on the environment, the discipline referrals, those two programs, are those externally developed, owned and developed and that we're utilizing them within our district, or did we develop those in-house?
No, they are absolutely externally developed. They are national programs, widely successful and used across the country. We had some school improvement dollars, and we're very excited to be able to bring these programs into our district. They come with a strong professional development package. And this is part of our Lincoln Irving Willard combination. Bringing the staff together and bringing a new system to those schools was really the launch of that, as well as the improvements that we're making to the Aspire program as well. So great question. Thank you.
I noticed that it was in the agenda for tonight for approval of ECRA as a data tool for the district. All of the quantitative measures there, are they measures that we will see being utilized in that data set that you guys are purchasing from ECRA?
So we definitely are going to expand our relationship with ECRA and use them as our learning partner with our 1003 school improvement dollars. We have an existing relationship with them. They help us with our report card analysis and our comparative analysis that we started last year to look at our performance up against 10 different districts that are similar to us in demographic. So we have that base relationship, and then we also are using them for our multilingual cohort as well. And so yes, they're going to begin to help us to strategically look at our performance data in deeper ways than we have before. So they are going to help us with some of this analysis and train our principals. They're coming in actually to provide some professional development in August and September to help our principals to be able to understand deeper analysis to promote that improvement as well. So you're absolutely right.
Thank you. And then my second question is there an opportunity under the people goal to include students as a part of that stakeholder committee on the plan for implementation of AI, especially at the high school level? I believe that last year, Aaron's daughter was an exemplar in showing us that our students really are thoughtful when it comes to their own learning. So if there could be some consideration of opening up, a version of that for students to give impact,
Yes.
input on that, that would be great.
Absolutely. We hope to have representation from all of our stakeholder groups. And this is really a function of the new legislation from ISB. ISB, as you know, is having a statewide committee, this law that was passed for them to create a statewide committee to create this new statewide guidance. And we are getting ready to sort of mirror that at the local level. But yes, having representation from every stakeholder group, I think will be important.
For the people one regarding the Ascend sort of programmatic pieces, is that the hope that some of those be implemented this year, or more of the planning components of that, and I guess in terms of the timeline of achieving?
Ideally, both. It's going to take us some time to begin to put this together. We really need to look at the personnel. We really need to look at developing the program. We've got some ideas from other school districts, learned a lot this summer, actually at the Model Schools Conference. I was able to visit with some folks in other states that are doing this work and helped me to figure out how to put some of this work together and how to look at staff in different ways. Our high school counselors have a huge caseload, and there's this constant battle between academic advising and counseling. And how can we utilize our high school staff to do more with less, right? So I spent some time with Chris Moore this summer and took a deep dive into looking at that. And it might even come down to looking at this from a completely different way and approaching this. So ideally, it might take us the first semester to kind of build the plane and develop this, in hopes by spring we can start to implement. So ideally both.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I have a roll call, please.
Laura Seifriedson,
Aye.
Audrey Adamson,
Aye.
Ramona Dixon,
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsay Hines, Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Chet Smith.
Aye. Okay, moving on to number 10, approval of the first reading of updated Board of Education Policy 2260, Uniform Grievance Procedure, and 2265, Title IX Grievance Procedure. Recommended motions that the Board of Education accepts for first reading the updated Board of Education Policies 2260, Uniform Grievance Procedure, and 2265, Title IX Grievance Procedure as presented.
So moved.
I would like to, are we waiving? Yes, yes. I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both first and second reading.
Second.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second to waive the second reading. Any discussion? I have a roll call, please.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Chet Smith.
Aye. Okay, number 11, approval of first reading of updated Board of Education policies for Section 5 personnel. Recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading revised Board of Education policies for personnel, Section 560 expenses as presented.
Go ahead. I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, have a roll call, please.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Chet Smith.
Aye. Number 12, approval of first reading of revised Board of Education Policy 510, Equal Employment Opportunity and Minority Recruitment. Recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the revised Board of Education Policy 510, Equal Employment Opportunity and Minority Recruitment as presented.
I'd like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Chet Smith.
Aye. All right, number 13, approval of first reading of revised Board of Education Policy 520, Workplace Harassment Prohibited. Recommended motions that the Board of Education accept for first reading the revised Board of Education Policy 520, Workplace Harassment Prohibited as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Aye. Chet Smith.
Aye. Number 14, approval of first reading of revised Board of Education Policy 5100, Staff Development Program. Recommended motion is that the Board of Education accept the first reading of the revised Board of Education Policy 5100, Staff Development Program as presented.
I'd like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Have a roll call, please.
Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsey Hines. Chet Smith.
Aye. Okay, number 15, approval of first reading of updated board policies for Section 6, Instruction. Recommended motion that the Board of Education accepts for first reading the revised Board of Education Policy 6150, Home and Hospital Instruction, 6310, High School Credit for Non-District Experiences, Course Substitutions, Re-entering Students as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Aye. Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Chet Smith.
Aye. Number 16, approval of first reading of updated Board of Education Policy 6235, access to electronic networks. Recommended motion that the Board of Education accepts with first reading the updated Board of Education Policy 6235, access to electronic networks as presented.
I'd like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second. Any discussion?
Just one question on this one in terms of the optional subheading. I know that is existing on this one. Is there anything, I mean, as we move forward with some of our conversations as part of the PACE goals or anything that we will be adding? Because then the next one that we'd be approving is also the district's boards who are choosing to adopt the use of artificial intelligence enabled tools. Just wondering where we're at, I guess, on, so we're at the 62351.
Yeah, the AI field was added in
Okay.
response. That was why it was all by itself, because
Okay.
it was a new section.
Okay, just wanted to make sure it was reading it correctly.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Audrey Adamson,
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 17, approval of first reading of updated Board of Education policies for section 7, students. Recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the updated Board of Education policies 750, school admissions and student transfers to and from non-district schools, and 7340, student records as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and the second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Aye. Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. And number 18, approval of first reading of revised Board of Education policy 760, residents. Recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the revised Board of Education policy 760, residents as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second readings.
Second.
Any discussion?
So just for clarity purposes, this, out of all the policies tonight, I noted that this was the only one that had a local level change in it. And you guys just eliminated that option 1 as it wasn't something that was applicable to our students. That correct? Because everything else was just footnotes, underlines and everything. But this was one that we felt the need to eliminate, number 1, which was something that alluded to paying.
Allowing students in tuition free.
Yes, yes.
Yes, because our board last year had chosen to not adopt the policy to allow students to out of boundary students to enter in tuition free. So that was eliminated to not pose a conflict.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Jason Farrell. Aye. Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 19, approval of first reading of updated Board of Education policy 770, student attendance and truancy. Recommended motion.
Third. I'd like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Let's go.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. All right, number 20, just need a recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the updated Board of Education policy 7190, student behavior as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Aye. Lindsay Hines. Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 21, the recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the updated Board of Education policies 7200, suspension procedures, and 7210, expulsion procedures as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and the second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Aye. Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 22. The recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the updated Board of Education Policy 7250, Student Support Services as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, have a roll call, please.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, number 23, the recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading to adopt the new Board of Education Policy 7255, students who are parents, expectant parents, or victims of domestic or sexual violence as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I would just say because this is a new policy and stuff, I think it makes sense for us to maybe take a little bit more time to look it over if those have not had a chance to do so.
It's a big one.
And it, like everything else that preceded this, it included that new code, so we
Yes.
had already approved some of the
Yes.
other components of it, so
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with it because it's just ensuring that that well-rounded education is taken in consideration. But yes, we can hold on. Yeah, that's what you all feel comfortable with.
All right, anything else? Have a roll call, please.
Ramona Dixon.
Wait a minute. So what are we deciding? I thought we
So
were
this is
saying-
just gonna move it to a second reading.
Okay, we're,
yeah.
okay, perfect. Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, 24, recommended motion that the Board of Education accept for first reading the updated Board of Education policies 7310, restrictions on publication in elementary schools, and 7315, restrictions on publications high schools as presented.
I would like to waive the second reading and allow the first reading to stand for both the first and second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Jason Farrell. Lindsey Hines. Jeff Manus.
Aye.
Laura Severson.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, now on to reports, requests, and open discussion. Dr. Savage.
All right, I have a few other notes, but before that, we have a proposal for approving new policies. After you just approved 2.5 pages of policies, you'll be happy to know that the new press update just came out. So isn't that exciting? I actually have to give credit where credit is due back there. Aaron Turstrip had a wonderful idea, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So most of these policies that you approve have very minor changes. They come to us from press. They have a footnote change. They have a very minor change, such as a one-word change, a grammatical change, or something of that sort. Or it is simply a 5-year review and they have to just update the date. So I would say a good chunk, if not 3/4 of these, most of these are simply that. So Aaron had a great suggestion to take all of those and put them in one board letter, in one recommended motion, one agenda item. And what we would do as a proposal, with your permission, is we would number them. So let's say there were 17 press policies that fit under this footnote, 5-year review, minor change, and we would number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we would again put them in one board letter, one agenda item, so that if you had one that you wanted to pull, another great suggestion, talking through some of this a little bit with Audrey in advance, if you had one that you wanted to pull, similar to how we do with items in the consent agenda, it would be very easy to pull that one out and make it its own separate agenda item, so that there wouldn't be a need to list them all out separately. And moreover, wouldn't be a need to write 27 different separate board letters that are basically repeating what's in this press update. And this press update could be attached in board book. So that's our proposal and something that we would like to do if you're comfortable with that. And then obviously for the new policies that are completely new legislation, and we did have some of those, they would proceed in a similar way. So looking for feedback on that proposal.
So I think that will work with the footnotes, the strike throughs, the underlines. If you just gave us a blanket one that said, these are, 6:50, 20,
Right.
all of that.
Only
in
for
one.
those.
And then if we had a separate line item within the agenda for new policies.
Correct.
So footnotes, updates, check, and then new policies.
New policies would continue to be their own separate item.
So we just have
Or-
one, basically like, almost like a consent agenda item just for
Correct.
the press policies that have very little change. Yeah, I, as long as it's a non-issue with everybody else, I don't have an issue with it. It's a lot less reading 27 agenda items.
And I love the idea of being able to pull one if you wanted to discuss it further. I think that makes sense.
But this would also include not just new ones, but ones that we know also have significant change or
Correct.
something that is, so just.
But
correct
you would
the
still
ones that
have
we-
that summary of like ensuring basically the change is the ensuring student success law. Like
Correct.
the footnotes.
That's a big
are
one.
All about, and that could be, quote,
Right,
parentheses down,
Yeah.
like the same,
Exactly.
same.
right. So any policy identified as new or that is complex in any way would be continue to be a separate agenda item. And then you, as the Board of Education, could make that determination if you wanted a first reading, a second reading, or however you wanted to do it. But any of these that meet these three criteria, a footnote, a minor change, or a 5-year review, we would make one agenda item numbered out, kind of like a consent. That's a great analogy. And then you could pull those as you wish. And so we could try it for this next press update, if that's something that you would like to try. Even though you just did a bang up job reading all of those separately. Good job.
This might be a stretch, but is there a way that with that particular consent item that because you'll still have to provide us the actual drafts of the board policy, would you still? Because the board agendas during these times are like 200 pages. It's like another edit. So is there a way of putting those board agenda items, how when you board book, when you click that button, put the agenda item behind that?
Like,
Is
okay,
that
Could just be in
Could
one
they all be together?
PDF,
And if we didn't want to print them,
Right.
we would have like.
just one PDF,
Yes.
animal is one
Versus
PDF.
120?
Perfect, good
I
suggestion.
think a great idea.
Good job, Erin.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you. Couple of other notes. Registration day was on July 22nd, was a great success at the PE Center. We have a lot of new students, so we're certainly excited to see our numbers come through on the first day of school. It was another great, amazing partnership with our Moline Police Department, giving out free school supplies. We had free haircuts, and School Health Link was there providing physicals and immunizations for families and students. Also want to give a shout out to the entire district administrative team and all of our principals and support staff who were there executing this very well organized event. We will have a makeup registration day that will be being promoted out very soon, if not already, on August 5th. And that'll be another opportunity for families to do what they need to do to get their kids ready for the first day of school. Today we hosted our very first ever new administrator induction day. We have 11 leaders that are new to their positions. 6 are current district employees and 5 are new to the district. It was a full day of onboarding with each district department, as well with their administrative mentor that they received. We had 16 Moline High School students participate in our summer CNA certification program, taught by 2 of our nurses, Dawn Carnahan and Rachel Adams. And we're very excited to host our very first ever pinning ceremony on August 4th. At 5 p.m. in the BPAC lobby, so we're very excited about that. Another item we learned today that the remaining federal funds that were initially frozen due to programmatic review at the federal level are now slated to be released to school districts. This is great news. And so potentially our allocations for Title II and Title III that we had been yet to receive are now anticipated to come through. So we're waiting for further guidance from ISB on this, but it's certainly a great sign. We had been sort of in a holding pattern on this, and we're at least happy to hear some good news and some movement on this. That is very good news for our school district. Each year, the Illinois State Board of Education hosts its board meetings outside of their boardroom a couple of times a year and meets in school districts around the state. And this school year, the Moline-Coal Valley School District has been selected to host one of their meetings. So the ISB board meeting hosted in Moline will take place in March, and it will be quite the event. It'll be a multi-day event. It'll include district presentations to the state board, a leadership lunch for district school leaders, Board of Education members, student leaders. There will be school visits and a lot of pomp and circumstance. A representative from ISB has already been here visiting our district office to look at our meeting location and was very impressed. So I'm not sad that I didn't have to take this individual to Allendale. I think it would have been quite a different story. But she was very impressed with this space and all of the additional meeting and breakout spaces that they will need. And I think it's going to be a great event. I look forward to keeping you informed as more details emerge. However, one detail that I'm aware of now is that we will likely need to move our own March Board of Education meeting, as it will happen right around that same time. Our March board meeting, I believe, is scheduled for the 9th. And so it's going to be right around that time. So I think right after winter break, when we come back, we can start looking at potential dates to move our meeting. Their event will be about a 2.5-day event right around that time period. And so I will send dates to you and more information on how you can be involved if you like, but they look to invite community leaders, legislators, and it'll be quite an interesting event and bring a lot of positive light to our community, and I'm very excited about that. A few other items, our school district will also be hosting the Illinois School Board Association Blackhawk Division event in September. I think they just sent out a save the date event, if you guys saw that. Now, Jason has been involved in that event as well. Typically, the event consists of a catered meal, a guest speaker, some professional development opportunities, and networking with other school board members in our region. Our district will receive credit for a free professional development session with ISB as well. So if you recall, I think last year a representative came and did a session with our board, so we'll have an opportunity to do something like that again. And so further planning will take place, but that event will be here September 16th. So more details to come on that as well. Jason, anything else you know about that?
Usually when they do these events, it's a chance to really show off our district. It's a great chance to, student leaders are usually at the, whatever school it's being held at, they're doing tours of the high school or whatever building it's held in. There's usually a really beautifully catered meal. It's a big deal. It's a good chance for us to show up. And so I think it's a great chance for us to probably do some kind of unveiling of the new football field. Would be a nice chance to do something with the marching band on the football field, since there's so much time being put into that right now. This place, our high school, we got a lot of options. And so I think this is something that I take pretty seriously as a way to show what Moline's doing, especially in the Luda area for this, and then get some ideas that I go to all these and I steal ideas from other schools. So hopefully we can give them some ideas to take back to their schools as well.
Very good. So we will post that as a board activity on the evening of September 16th. And if you want to mark that date, and we look forward to more planning. And then lastly, the city of Moline is hosting a family-friendly party in the park at Browning Field on the evening of August 5th. You might have heard something about that. That is also the evening of our makeup registration day. So Candace and I are gonna take over the booth at that event. We want to make sure that our school district is present and represented at Party in the Park. There are over 35 community organizations that will be represented. It'll be from 5:30 to 7:30. There'll be live music, food, kids' activities, lots of giveaways. And so we look forward to representing our district at that community event as well. And again, that's the evening of August 5th. So that's what I have for you tonight, Mr. Chair.
We have no student board members present. Do any board members have anything to discuss?
Yeah, I know we had an email about it. I just want to make a public statement as well. Mike Millizer, tragically passed in a car accident last week. And so he was a project manager in a lot of jobs here in our district, including the Browning Field project. Centennial and Jamie there are doing a great job with the follow-up and all of that, but Mike leaves behind 2 children who are phenomenal, and his wife. The visitation is Thursday at the Believer Center at Christ the King from 9 to 11, and there'll be about an hour break and then the funeral. So obviously I'll be there, but if anybody else from the district is there to pay their respects, that's a chance to do that for someone whose, kind of fingerprint is on our district right now.
Thank you.
So you said August 5th is Party at the Park, that because Chief Bell's here, you might be able to, I believe that is also the National Night Out.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so just 2, I didn't know timing and other stuff, so people could bounce between 2 fun.
Well, my event's better.
Yes. So,
It's a competition.
of course. So just check, I was like, I know something else is happening that evening, so, okay.
So I think the Party in the Park, Candace, isn't that the city? Who's putting that on? Is that the city?
It's, Moline Parks.
Oh,
It's
Moline
their
Parks.
event, sponsored by, I believe, a credit union.
Yeah, so talk to them, chief.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what to
Hey,
tell you.
registration's pretty
Leo
good.
Teddy's it.
Yeah, registration's gonna be real fun. You can come to that.
3
too.
parties to attend.
And
Three
Chief, you have to
parties.
get ready for that news interview. And take
Yeah,
that
there you go.
proposal back.
That's right. I might be too busy.
I also just want to comment, I know I spoke to you about this, and hopefully maybe we'll have some students come present in the future, but I know, so my son Grant is participating in the, Moline School District City of Moline internship program this summer, and I know Aaron's daughter Rowan had participated in that. And just what an amazing sort of thing. I mean, he's at the wastewater treatment. I haven't talked to him yet today, so I don't know how that was. Maybe that wasn't as amazing. Maybe it's no, I don't know. But but he spent, 5 weeks now already exploring things in the city. And so just, I think the school district, we should be really proud of creating those partnerships. And in light of that too, I know that we have the new position starting this fall then with Todd, his last name, I'm forgetting. Barima, thank you. In terms of hopefully creating even some more of those sorts of, hands-on, high impact sorts of experiences that our students can have. So just wanted to put a shout out, but I think the district and people planning those things are doing amazing things. So thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, can I have a closed session, correct? Can I have a motion to go into closed session to consider the purchase of or lease of real property and to consider setting of a price for sale or lease of district property?
So moved.
No, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun. But we did get separate spaces, so.
I was at a trust on a Key Island.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I'm from.
Hey.
I'm from a small town called Mansfield. It's probably. I have a few friends that were really, really good friends in college.
Yeah.
They're from Charlotte. Do you fly to Savannah?
Charleston.
You fly?
Yeah.
My dad.
Oh,
They.
You can- Hang on just one second. Can be can I have a motion to return to open session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, recommend a motion that the Board of Education approve the designation of the Allendale property located at 1619 11th Avenue, Moline, Illinois, as excess property, and to authorize Vince Gallo, Chief Financial Officer, to initiate and carry out the approved legal process of the sale in accordance with applicable statutes.
Second.
Any discussion? And a roll call, please.
Laura Severson,
Aye.
Audrey Adamson,
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines. Jeff Manis.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye. Okay, and now can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Meeting adjourned.